everyone. Um, yeah, I had some really good days there, and now this is the third day in a row where I'm having a nonstop migraine. And I've not had that before for no reason. I have never had that for no reason. Um, and I'm hoping that doing this artwork will make me feel better. I mean, ooh, sorry. It's causing me quite a lot of pain right now, but I'm determined to do some kind of artwork because it did make me feel emotionally better before. Um, and it actually almost seemed to improve my health, but I mean, I don't know how else to put it. I mean, you know, I don't know how else to put it. Placebo effect is what it actually is. I had to haul my paints out. I already wetted them down and everything. So, and I am filming this from my bed. I've done several of these videos. Hopefully you can hear me. I can't talk very loud without causing myself a lot of pain. I actually have this balanced on my lap at the moment. So, and hopefully the artwork isn't too askew to you, or whatnot. But anyway, uh, yeah, I've tried filming, and I actually have filmed several art videos for my bed, but I never posted them. So right after I film this one, I am definitely going to post it here. For me, it's Friday. It's the last day of January. The other videos that I did were essentially forever ago. You know, I don't know if I should be wetting this down first to make it easier to blend or what. Because it's drying out just about as fast as I'm wetting it down. Anyway, I think I'll start with a red violet. Hopefully I got enough paint on. Yep, I do. It can be hard to tell how much paint is on your brush, especially when you can't see stuff too well. But yeah, boy, I'll tell you, I can't tell you how much I need the placebo effect to be real right now because I am in so much pain and I'm nauseous and I'm dizzy and I'm swollen and my eyes, everything has trails and I can't see straight and it's so bad. But as with the emotions thing, you know, you can't pass away from, you know, embarrassment can't kill you, loneliness can't kill you, you know, stress and anxiety can't kill you. Well, the placebo effect cannot heal you or make you better, you know. I sure wish it would, because then we wouldn't need doctors anymore. And boy, I'll tell you, if anyone needs to not need doctors, I sure, you know, literally. And saying something like that isn't going too far, you know, for anyone who might think that that's going too far. That isn't going too far at all. Literally, so one, so the other. If the placebo effect is really real, and you can heal yourself via your mind, you know, then you don't need doctors. You know, if the placebo effect is really that powerful, then you can, you know, there are Buddhist monks who have proven through meditation to, you know, rid a third party, someone outside of themselves. They actually showed this through their meditation. They were actually able to, you know, on while the person was being screened for it, rid this lady of these tumors. It took 3 of the monks to do it, and they all concentrated their minds on her body. But I mean, that is the placebo effect right there, technically. So, I mean, so one, so the other. And I'll tell you, I'm actually allergic to aspirin, and almost all pain medications are aspirin based. So I don't get the luxury of pain medications at all. Um, like other people who have migraines, they get to take pain medications of some kind. And even if I was not allergic to aspirin, um, I still don't have the money, and I haven't had the money for a long time now, uh, to be able to go to any doctor and get any kind of pain medication of any kind. And boy, I'll tell you, I need it. You know, it's funny, I actually managed to go to a very reputable neurologist, and the neurologist, you know, this was a doctor that actually, they were one of the good ones. They cared about me, and they actually looked into my ailments, and they actually said, well, you have migraines and seizures. And I said, well, wait a minute. It's, you know, the medical world has already determined that you cannot have migraines and seizures. You can have one or the other. And this doctor said, well, yeah, but, you know, that's a real sketchy area. We don't know anything about neurology yet, really. And this was a neurologist. And they said, you know, you have migraines and seizures. You got them both. I was like, oh my God. But this is why I call doctors quackies and hospitals quackeries, because, you know, they don't know. And it's interesting that that same doctor, simply because of my family history, decided that I also had Parkinson's disease. I've been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease by 3 doctors. One of these doctors, I told him all my symptoms, and they literally shrugged, you know, and he said, "Well, no one can diagnose that." And at the time, at that appointment, my mom was in the room, and she said, you know, well, she had a relative that died of Parkinson's disease. And the doctor literally shrugged and said, "Well, then you have Parkinson's disease. That would explain it all." I was like, oh my God. I mean, there's a reason, you know. So the neurologist that diagnosed me with migraines and seizures wanted to put me on this anti-seizure medication. And it's in moments like this. I refused it, of course, you know. But it's in moments like this that I would, doctors want to get you dependent on them and going back to them. They don't want you to actually be healthy and well. But man, it's in moments like this that I would totally take. I would be more than willing to try some of the lowest dosages of that anti-seizure medication because, wow, you know. And the doctor did say, you know, it helps with bowels and all these other problems that you're having, you know. Now I kind of regret never even attempting to try it because, rightfully so, I was very afraid of it. I have a niece that, I do have a family history on my mom's side of seizures, and I have a niece who's very handicapped who is on some powerful anti-seizure medication, and I feel so sorry for her, but that stuff scared the crap out of me. I was just like, oh my gosh. And the horror stories I've heard of other seizure patients, you know. And you take the anti-seizure medication because, there are no other answers. What else can you do? But they're pulling this stuff from, it didn't work for that pile of people in that drug trial. Maybe it'll work for the seizure patients, and I just don't like that idea, but being experimented on like that. But man, having pain and nausea and dizziness, I mean, the very sound of my voice is making my head feel like it's exploding. I mean, in a situation that I'm in, you get so desperate that you are willing to pound your head on a rock, just, and for me, it's not my head, it's my whole body, just to make all of the torture stop. Um, and you can kind of sit there and say, well, why are you filming a video like this? Well, because I'm at the point of, doing whatever it takes to make the torture stop. It's like, well, if placebo effect works, then I'm going after it. And so that's what I'm doing here in this video. I'm doing a placebo effect. I'm just, you know, will this make the dizziness stop? Will this make the swelling stop? The confusion, the forgetfulness, all of it. I mean, there's so much, there's so many symptoms. And, the dizziness, the nausea, the pain, the light sensitivity, the sound sensitivity. I mean, you get to a point where it's like, do something or die, I mean, it's really bad. And it's why people go to the doctor, because you're on your deathbed and you don't know what else to do, you know. I'm glad I'm making this video, and I'm glad I'm putting it out there, because these are subjects that need to be openly discussed by patients themselves and not by these fervent believers, who are for pills and doctors and hospitals or against pills and doctors and hospitals, you know, or for it's all in your mind, placebo effect, you can cure it via your mind, or against, you know, it's all in your mind, it's all placebo effect, you can cure it via your head. We need to have open discussions, and that's what I'm hoping to encourage here with, honestly, I'm yelling as loud as I can at the moment, my small, quiet voice. Um, we need to have open discussions about all this, and we need to get out of our rigid, set in our ways prejudices that say, you know, only doctors and hospitals are the way, only holistic health is the way, only, meditation is the way. I mean, I learned from my near-death experience, which I put up on this channel. I knew that illness and bad health would be a part of this channel intimately. And so I put up my near-death experience on this channel to sort of exemplify that. I have thought of taking it down, but I think I'll leave it up. And via my near-death experience, I found out that science knows absolutely nothing. And the most important thing that I learned, and I want everyone to take from this video and any others that I make, is that you are your brain and you are your spinal column. And what I learned is that there is no spiritual life, there is no hell, there is no heaven, there is no Satan and demons, there is no Jesus and angels. For all that, there's no Kundalini, there's no Allah, whatever other religions are out there. There's no Abraham, Muhammad, what have you, Buddha. The only thing that we are is physical. And we are our brain and spinal column. And you, since you are your physical body, you are the best judge of whether or not you're healthy and whether or not you're sick. I know that this is more of a preaching rather than an art video, but I'm putting this out there anyway. And I'm glad that I'm rather preaching rather than doing art at the moment, because I think it's needed. I think it needs to be done. I think I'll combine these two purples sort of and try to make a third purple of some kind. Who knows what that's going to look like. I'm combining it on camera here. Maybe I should have done the preaching while I was mixing my paints here. But my brain, because I'm not okay today, my brain can't think of two things at once. It can only think of one thing, and not too well, Oh, that's kind of an interesting color. Hopefully this will be very pretty. Well, this is going to be very pale. So this is going to be interesting. It's not necessarily what I wanted. I didn't put my timer on today. I didn't think about that. I'm definitely going to try to do at least one more video here. So please, anyone who watches this who might be ill, You know, I mean, literally complain about the gaslighting from doctors in the comments. I have had nothing but that. And, you know, the doctor that actually, at least in her mind, properly diagnosed me um, with migraines and seizures, you know, that was one of the good ones. That was one of the ones that didn't gaslight me. And I, to this day, even though I didn't agree with the diagnosis, I am still grateful to having been treated like a human being with actual physical ailments, you know, instead of being treated like, I mean, I've gone to doctors and I've literally been treated like I'm a criminal for no reason at all. I don't take medications of any kind, so they can't call me a druggie, you know. But it's not fun going to the doctor and being treated badly, you know, and for no reason at all. And most people, unfortunately, I don't know, it always seems to be the white men. I do got to say that. But there's a lot of white ladies too, like my mom, who have this old-fashioned way of thinking, who literally say, you know, the doctor is always right, listen to the doctor, obey the doctor. Literally, it's an old-fashioned obey authority figures, instead of realizing that authority figures don't know more than you. You know more than the doctor. You are your body. That is what I learned in that near-death experience. You are your body, and you know your body better than any doctor can possibly ever know. And that is actually why you go to the doctor in the first place, because you're the one who determined that I'm sick, I need to go to the doctor. You're the one that determined, you know, there's something wrong, I need help. You know, the doctor didn't come to your door and say, hey, you know, you're going to have a migraine in 2 weeks, or you're going to have a heart attack in about a week and a half. Take these pills and don't call me, you know. I mean, because that's literally what they would say now. They'd say, don't call me. Don't come into the office, you know. But yeah, sorry, I've gotten a little rambly, but I've been through a lot of gaslighting, so, you know, leave your complaints, you know, your life experiences below, you know, talk about them, because I think one of the most important things we can do is talk about them and admit that we're actually experiencing them, and that, and I'm not trying to rip the rug out from underneath doctors or hospitals or anything. I'm just merely stating my personal, intimate, first-hand life experiences, what I have been through, you know. I don't know how long this video is, but I suppose it's been a while, so, and I need to let this dry for at least 10 minutes. So I'm going to cut it off here. And, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with these back pedals. I don't know how much is showing on the screen here. But yeah, that's it for now. Thanks for stopping by. And I hope I can get myself, yep, I can see the button.